Hello everyone, this is Deb again. So I thought I would give you an update on my 12 volt outlet up there in the dash. That's the one on the right. That's a cigarette lighter right there, and that one works, but this one is dead, and that happened on my trip back from Idaho. If you saw that video, it was okay like the first 3 or 4 days I was driving, and it was charging the Apex just fine every day. When I got to my destination, it was usually at 100%. Sometimes it didn't get quite that much. It depended on how many hours I was driving. But for the first 3 or 4 days, it was fine. And then on the last day of my trip, when I got to my destination, I noticed I turned it on to check it, and it had not moved at all. It had not charged one bit, and I drove, at least 4 hours that day. And so I kind of just assumed that it was the fuse for that 12 volt outlet. And but yesterday we checked the voltage on all of my outlets. The one in the back, this one right here, you can see that little black thing right there, that's 12 volt. And we checked the voltage on those two, and every one of them was reading voltage except for the one on the right. And so we looked in the fuse box. The fuse for that one is actually under the hood over there on that side. And we checked, and the fuse is not blown. So that kind of worries me. I think my Apex just killed my 12 volt outlet. I don't know why the fuse didn't blow instead of that outlet just outright dying. I don't know if this was like a fluke and that thing was getting ready to die anyways. I'm not sure what's going on, because I was just going to change the fuse and get it over with, but the fuse didn't blow. It's perfectly fine. We tested the voltage on the fuse even, and I got new fuses just because I thought I was going to have to replace it, but I didn't even need the new fuses because there's nothing wrong with it. So that worries me a little bit. I may not be able to charge my Apex through the DC. Because I have this one, and that's what I'll run. I'll try it on that one again the next time I go out for a trip, which I have no idea when that's going to be. But the next time I go out, I will plug it into that one right there and see what happens. But it's quite possible that the only way I'm going to be able to charge this Apex is through a wall outlet here when I'm in a sticks and bricks, or when I'm on the road, just my solar panel. And that doesn't please me at all. I don't know what to do about it though. If it's pulling too much energy for these outlets, then there's nothing I can do about it. I guess I just won't be able to do it. Now the one back here, it was fine on the trip, and I was running the Jackery on it, but the Jackery is quite a bit smaller, so I imagine the drain on the outlet was not near as much as the drain on the Apex. And I was kind of worried about it. Not worried, but just kind of leery. Every time I plugged it in when I was driving, I'm like, man, that's a big power station. I know that's drawing a lot. And I don't know, I guess maybe I knew something was going to happen or whatever, because every time I plugged it in, I was just like, okay. But after the first day, it worked and everything was fine. And I'm like, okay, so some of the hesitation went away. But, each time I plugged it in, I'm like, something in the back of my mind was going, well, that's a big power draw. And so I don't know, maybe I just could psychically, tell that was going to happen or something. I don't know. But I guess I'll find out the next trip I take that, goes for hours at a time or whatever. I'll drain that down and plug it in and charge it while I'm driving and see what happens. And like the last time, it was a multi-day trip. It worked for 3 or 4 days, and so the problem didn't actually show up for a while. So it would have to be another long trip. So it's possible that I won't even know if this is going to be problematic until I leave here, because I don't know if I'm going to take another long trip. It's kind of debatable about the van build and everything. I mean, if I can't figure this out by myself, then I probably will try to go to Georgia to the van build, to Jamie's van build. But I don't know. I guess I'll see what happens this winter and how far I can get along on it. I'm finding that I don't have as much space as I think I do, you know, because I thought I was going to put the refrigerator right here, but honestly this thing kind of leans back pretty far. I know I'm not going to have this hanging there, and the paper towel, that would all have to be moved, but even with that out of the way, I don't know, I'm not sure how comfortable I'll be, you know, because that's supposed to be my free space, my free area where I can pull the toilet out from over there and put it here to use if I have to. So I don't know, things are kind of moving slow, but the next thing I want to do is just start dragging everything out here, all my water jugs and my loo and, you know, all my power stations and my refrigerator. I want to put my refrigerator right there just to see how much space I have from here to here, because if it's not enough for me to like freely move around, I might not be able to put the refrigerator there. I don't know what I'd do with that space, but I would just have to resort to putting the refrigerator back here where I had it on my trip home back from Idaho. That's where I had it, and the Jackery was right there. So I don't know, space is feeling smaller and smaller every time I think about it, and every time I try to, you know, mentally stuff everything in here that I'm gonna be bringing with me. So I don't know, I'm trying to be a minimalist and it's hard. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.